Hello and welcome back to another beautiful discussion in the Growth Mindset Collective here with Nikki Hall. Welcome, Nikki. It's so nice to see you again.
Hi, Ava. Thanks for
And
having me.
you're welcome. Well, thanks for being here together and expanding our awareness and helping others to do the same. So I'm super excited because today we are going to be talking about me and money, as in you and money, me and money, it's all the same. So Nikki will start it off here. Go ahead, Nikki. What do you got for us today?
Well, first thing that we should think of is nothing is limited, and we seem to have that kind of mentality. And I know it's hard to believe that you can have anything and all the things that you desire, but it's true, you can, because you're just going by what you can see, hear, touch, taste. Those are like lower primal manners of going about, and we're not using our higher faculties. So, of course, we're going to feel limited within that, right? So, you see and experience limitation because you're looking through a lens that's really narrow. That's really not fair to yourself, to your spouse, to your family, your environment. I mean, we are meant to grow, like a tree and a root is growing. You put the seed in and the root grows and it starts to break through the ground, and it's meant to keep growing. We're not meant to like just break the ground and stop. Right? Right, Ava?
Exactly. So it's basically shifting from scarcity to abundance in a nutshell, right? Focusing on opportunities and possibilities rather than that limitations. And unfortunately, it happens that we do put ourselves in that situation sometimes the minute something doesn't go right away the way we anticipated. So if we don't train ourselves to shift, then we tend to stay there for way too long than it needs to be, right? So, like for example, people say, "Well, I can't afford this." Well, how about shifting the words alone to start with? Like, how about saying, "How can I afford this?" and things like that. So, you know, right away it takes time, no doubt about it, for some people that have that hard concept stir in my mind in their mind that it'll take time. But you know what? Little steps every day starts shifting you there, and it becomes a new habit. Because sometimes we've done it. Certain things are it come to us easier. Sometimes they come harder. But when we start doing uh a lot often and with intention, it becomes easier and easier. And before you know it, you're doing something new automatically. And you're like, wow, I don't do that anymore. Great. That means you've expanded, you've shifted. So stay in the abundance.
Yes. Basically, you're learning to live in the within the universal laws. And primary one that we're talking about for the most part here is the law of supply, which helps you create in life what you want. Now, let me tell you, first of all, man is never meant to be satisfied. Man is meant to be happy, but not satisfied, or not forever satisfied, because our intention is to continue growing. So we're to achieve, be happy with ourselves, but not completely satisfied. I've shared this story many times. My grand's was 104 when she passed away. And still, she was in a point of being very happy with herself, but not satisfied. And on the day she passed, the nurse called me in and said she really needs to talk to you. So I went in and said, what's the deal, Grants? And she said, well, I'm leaving today. And, it's like, oh, what? But she was really happy and really excited about it. So, I couldn't help but want to celebrate with her. And she said, and I learned my last lesson today. And finally, she was satisfied. You want to get to that place in life where you want to just keep going, 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 going until you know exactly who you are and you're ready for that accountability on who you are, who have you been all your life, that gift that you've fostered and grown. And until then, stay happy and dissatisfied. Now, to do that, let me tell you, you have to understand that there is an unlimited supply of anything you can imagine that you want. And that is not through competition. That is through creation. That is through your bond with your higher power and your higher self. The second thing is that you are entitled to a full and increasing supply of everything that you need and desire. You're literally entitled to that. We have been created in a manner where we can go for that. And really, it's our duty. And the third thing is everything comes from one infinite source. So again, we're not taking from a place that has limitations. People sometimes get the word greed confused with a negative word here in our society, and we shouldn't do that. Sometimes we think it's like an evil word because our culture confuses the word greed with avarice. Now, I actually got challenged on this weekend because a really lovely Christian, beautiful soul man said, well, money's not going to make you happy. And but it is meant for us to grow, continue seeking it, and to continue serving through that. And greed, that's not greed. What they're thinking of is the word avarice. And avarice is when you consciously seek, wish, or plot to take something away from somebody who is rightfully the owner of that possession. You don't want to be doing that. But I think a lot of people sometimes think that if they're in that kind of greed mode where they want more and people think they're greedy, that they're behaving more like in an avarice manner. Those two are totally different things, and it's very important that you change that mindset to understand that you are in the form of creation. You are with your higher self, you are with your higher power, and it's an infinite source. You're not taking away from anybody else.
Completely agree with you. And it's true because sometimes people have misconceptions about money because the way they were raised, grew up, it stayed with them. So they just adopted, that kind of mindset. And sometimes it's hard for them to see beyond that, right? So it's good that, we are there sometimes to remind people that, see money as a tool. It's not about having money for the sake of it, but using it to create freedom, opportunities, and positive impact around you. See, the more money you have, the more impact you can hopefully make as long as you use it in the right manner, right? Um and sometimes, I know back in the day, like people used to see money as evil and things like that. Well, it really comes down to how you use it, what you use it for. But when you use it in the proper manner, it makes life better, not just for that person, but everybody around you as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So what basically you're saying is when you know in your heart that you deserve to have more and more, and that you are not harming anyone else in helping yourself, then you could begin to work toward supply, getting more and more, and be in the light in this world, be in this functioning, wonderful place where only you can develop certain things in a certain manner that is really needed in this life. Like you are here in this day and time for a reason. We need you to not fear moving forward. We need you to not fear what you might perceive as greed being a bad thing. Separate the word greed from avarice and stay focused, keep looking forward in creation and not in competition.
Exactly. Absolutely right, Nikki. But of course, not always money is used for the proper things, but this is not what we are talking about here. Here we're using, our minds to expand, to help others, to, make this world a better place, basically for us to shine brighter. And right now, more than anything, we need to shine brighter than ever before to, be that light for somebody else, just like you spreading the word that's, for him to look at money in a different way, maybe something he hasn't realized that he was saying or doing, right?
Mhm. Yes. Like, if you can take something physically tangible and move it to a place where you can actually relate to growth with your money and your money goals and your financial goals and it all boils down to money because that's our currency to acquire, right? But if you can look at the Olympics and look at our need to grow and develop and acquire, once somebody accomplishes one thing, there's always something better that's coming along that's going to beat it. So every record, everything that you see in the Olympics, like let's step out of the Olympics for a minute and go with Roger Bannister, who ran the first 4 minute mile. Now, everybody was thinking impossible, 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 or, you can't do it, or physically impossible, just like some of the money and acquiring thoughts we have. So, what he did was he broke down the goal in steps. And sometimes we have to do that with moving forward in our goals as well as we have to break it down in steps to keep moving forward. He broke it down in steps. He accomplished the 4 minute mile. And then, like, it was out there and it was in creation and it was in vibration and it is in frequency. And there were so many people in the same area of thinking and in the same mindset of growing that a month later, somebody in Australia broke the 4 minute mile and then it accelerated to a normal place of achievement. People are always running the 4 minute mile now. So don't ever think that because some of us live in a middle economy, I think most of us live in a middle economy, some low, middle, or higher. And we think, oh, that's about, the stretch of it, or so. It's not. There's no limit. Just break it down in small goals. Listen, if you have to, when I had a friend, he was a psychologist, and I asked him, how do you do this? He said, listen to biographies, listen to some of the Olympians, because they say what you want to get to is on the other side of what you fear. So you have to keep going onto the other side. You just have to keep going and you'll achieve it.
Exactly.
That that's a big nugget for money and me.
Exactly, right? Yeah, just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it can't be done, right? So many things out there, people proved otherwise, and sometimes we tend to think small, and we stay that way because of the habits we have formed over the years, perhaps, or fear or whatever else might be holding you back. So it's like it's important to address money mindset blocks, overcome fear of wealth, explore why wealth might be something you're intimidated by, and even journal about it, get to the core of what might be blocking you. Challenge thoughts like money will change me or I don't deserve them and things like that. Spend some time with it if money is something you are struggling with. And we don't like using the word struggle, but for this case, to explain it, we have to use sometimes those words. Let go of guilt around money. You can succeed and still help others. Wealth doesn't equate to greed. It enables you to be more generous and things like that, like we said before, right? Increase your financial literacy. Spend time with people that know how to work with money, and they can help you as well, right? There's so many different avenues you can go here, especially when you're feeling like you're in lack of money and stuff like that. Even affirmations, start working on affirmations daily. And in time, they will, even at the beginning, if they don't feel like they're real, over time, it will definitely sink into your subconscious, things like that. Any other tips you can give us, Nikki?
Well, I think we covered a lot for today, but the biggest thing is a controlled change of mindset, and unfortunately, some of the things that have served us so well to get here aren't going to serve us to get to the next level. So, some of the examples we used here, we have to see ourselves and see where we have it in our being. But not only that, but there's tentacles that go with that, and there's quiet places where there's variations of that thought that might get us to feel incapable or limited or looking through that narrow field of lens again. And we have to practice elevating our self-awareness so that we see those times and think, don't, and you have to tell yourself, don't do that and go for it.
Exactly. And it's those little steps sometimes that will definitely take you a long way into the future. So never give up, even if it seems like things are not at first working, keep going, because it will come, things will shift, because sometimes I get these things, oh, it's not working, and oh my goodness, I've practiced till I'm blue in the face. Sometimes, yeah, you have to maybe change the technique because maybe the technique you're using might not be working for you. So you also have to step back sometimes, and but bottom line is never give up. Just tweak it, change it, shift your mindset, and keep remembering what your goal is and why, the reason why you're going after what you're going.
And no, you can do it. Like, why could somebody else do it and you can't? That's not true.
If they can do it, we can do it, right?
That's right. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's right. So, what else, Nikki? All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the Me and Money segment with the Growth Mindset Collective. And remember, one of the most powerful tools you can use every day is be in gratitude for everything that you already have. And by being in gratitude, it definitely has to respond to you by bringing you more things to be grateful for in life. So that's your golden nugget for today, aside from all the ones Nikki mentioned as well. But just remember, gratitude is the way. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and have a beautiful day, everyone. Take care.
Bye.